Hey, sports card fans, it's John Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. I'm back with another video in which I choose my top 5 favorite cards of a particular player. At the end of the last video, I spun the wheel of names and it landed on Robin Roberts. Now, to help me narrow down the selections I had to choose my top 5 favorite cards of his, I went with his PSA Basic Set Registry checklist. It's 19 cards covering his Bowman cards from 1949 to 1955, and then his Topps cards, his 1952 Topps card, then his 56 through 66 Topps cards. Now, here's where I would love all of you to participate as well. In the description of this video, I'll have a link to the PSA Basic Set Registry checklist for Robin Roberts. And from that, you can go check out all 19 cards in his Playing Days run. And from those 19 cards, we'd love to know in the comments which are your top 5 favorite cards of his. And if you could number them 1 through 5, 5 through 1, it'll help me compile the results for next week's video. And if there are some cards beyond those 19 cards in his set registry that you really like, feel free to put them in the comments as well, and I'll have them as honorable mentions in next week's video. Now, before I get to my top 5 favorite Robin Roberts cards, the last video was on Joe Torre, and there were a few of you who put in the comments letting me know which were your top 5 favorite cards of his. So I'm going to start off by going over the results of your comments from the last video, see how your top 5 compares to my top 5. Then I'll get into my top 5 favorite Robin Roberts cards. Usually, after that, I turn the camera around and show the cards that I have of that player in my collection. Unfortunately, I don't have any Robin Roberts cards currently in my collection. So after I get done going over my top 5 favorite Robin Roberts cards, we'll go to the Wheel of Names, give it a spin, and see which player will be the focus of next week's video. So let's get started. All right, for Joe Torre, you had 17 cards to choose from. His 1962 through 1978 Topps cards. And there were 6 of you who responded in the comments letting me know which were your top 5 favorite cards of his. And here are the top 5 vote getters. Actually, there was a 3-way tie at the end here. So leading the way is his 1971 Topps card with 5 selections, followed by his 1962 Topps with 4 selections. His 1970 Topps card had 3 selections, and then we had the 3-way tie with his 1963, 65, and 73 Topps cards, each getting 2 selections. Now, there were 4 cards in his Playing Days run that none of you selected as part of your top 5. His 1966, 69, 76, and 78 Topps cards. Now, there were some honorable mentions. So we had 6 honorable mentions, starting off with his 1964 Topps Giants, the 1964 Topps Stand-Up, the 1969 Transogram, the 1971 Topps Super, the 1990 Pacific Legends, and the 1990 Swell card. So how did your top 5 selections, actually 6, match up with my top 5 favorite Joe Torre cards? Well, at number 5, you had his 1963 Topps card, which I also had as my 5th favorite. And 4th place, you had his 1973 Topps card, which I did not have in my top 5. And number 3 was his 65 Topps card. I had that as my 4th favorite card of his. Then, as sometimes is the case, we have number 2 and number 1 spots flipped between those who replied in the comments and my top 5 favorite. At number 2, you had his 1971 Topps card, which was my favorite card of his. And at number 1, you had his 1962 Topps rookie card, which I had as my 2nd favorite card. All right, on to the player for this week, Robin Roberts. Again, we're going with his PSA Basic Set Registry checklist. 19 cards, his 1949 to 55 Bowman cards, his 1952 Topps card, and his 56 through 66 Topps cards. My guess is that he did not have a 53, 54, and 55 Topps card because of a contract with Bowman for those years. All right, at number 5, I decided to go with his 1957 Topps card. First set that Topps put out using actual photographs. Interesting sort of posed pitching stance. You don't normally see that type of stance, but that mirrored his pitching style with his right leg out there to the side. I love the stadium in the background. Looks like fans are starting to fill the seats. I think it's just an overall great image and picture of Robin Roberts. So I chose his 57 Topps as my 5th favorite card of his. At number 4, I went with his 1955 Bowman. I don't normally on these videos here select the player's 55 Bowman card, but there was just something about, again, the image here of Robin Roberts, the background. You see the scoreboard in the background, and just the red in the Phillies hat and the blue of his long sleeve underneath the uniform, just that posed, almost sort of follow through pitching motion. I just thought made for a beautiful looking card. So one of the rare instances where I choose a 55 Bowman card for a player, but I chose this one here as my 4th favorite Robin Roberts card. At number 3, I went with this 53 Bowman card. Now, the 53 Bowman card needs no explanation, just a beautiful overall set. The reason why I chose this one is, again, it's a unique posed image of Robin Roberts. It's not like a follow through. It's almost like the beginning of his delivery, although it does look like his arm there is down to the side. But just that stare, the intensity there of Robin Roberts looking off to the side with that really cool image of his mitt there, stadium in the background. So I think it's just a beautiful example of a 53 Bowman card. So I went with the 53 Bowman as my 3rd favorite Robin Roberts card. At number 2, this was a little bit of a struggle for me between this card and the number 1 card, but I decided to go at number 2 with his 1952 Topps card. Now, if you look at the string of Robin Roberts cards, his 1951 Bowman card looks like it could be the same image. It's not quite. If you look at the stripes, I did a comparison. The stripes in the Phillies uniform, it's not quite the exact same image as was used in the 51 Bowman. 51 Bowman has more of the portrait of him, but just that yellow background offset by the red in his Phillies cap, the classic 52 Topps design, the fact that there's no logo for the Phillies but it just says Fightin' Phillies, I think is really cool. And I just think overall the image there of Robin Roberts with that little sort of a smirky smile there, sort of looks like it, is just an absolutely beautiful card. It was close to my number 1 card, but at the end I decided that this is my 2nd favorite Robin Roberts card. All right, at number 1, I went with his 1956 Topps card. Just I love the dual image here of the windup of his pitching motion there in sort of like the background there, and then that really I think of the portrait images of Robin Roberts on various cards. I think that's the one I like the most. I do like the 52, and again, which is very similar to the 51 Bowman. But this 56 Topps portrait image, that close-up portrait image with the P in the Phillies hat, and it just, I don't know, it just makes for a really beautiful card. And I'm sure in the comments, some of you are going to put his 49 Bowman rookie card in there as your top 5 favorite. It just didn't quite make my top 5. I generally like the 49 Bowman set. There's just something with the image chosen for Robin Roberts. I don't know, it just doesn't speak to me as much as the visuals of the other cards that I put in my top five. But it'll be interesting to see how many of you do put his 49 Bowman rookie card as part of your top five. But here are my top five. Again, would love to know which are your top five in the comments. And so, yeah, since I don't have any cards of his in my collection, let's get to the Wheel of Names and give it a spin. All right, as you can see, there are 33 names left on the Wheel of Names. Let's give it a spin and see which player it selects. All right, next week's video is going to be on his teammate, Richie Ashburn. All right, well, that's pretty cool. Out of all those names, we went from Robin Roberts to Richie Ashburn. So if you're a Phillies fan, really hope you let me know in the comments what are your top five favorite Robin Roberts cards, and then stay tuned for next week in which I go over my top five favorite Richie Ashburn cards. So again, one final reminder, would love to know in the comments which are your top five favorite Robin Roberts cards. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.